Well, who would have thought that Mumbai Indians find themselves in the position that they are, and they have Rajasthan Royals next, and it's a clash where 6th take on 7th. It's a battle of the Blues, and we have one man to, of course, talk about it all. I'm talking about Mark Butcher. And Butch, do you find Mumbai in this spot really surprising? Because we normally associate them already to book their place in the playoffs and whatnot.
Yeah, they've left it very, very late, haven't they, this time? And you kind of, look at the squad and the people they have at their disposal. It's very difficult to work out how they should find themselves in this position, but they just haven't been able to get any sort of run of form going. And it's costing them dearly. And so this becomes a winner take all night tonight, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a virtual knockout match. Now let's just put out some permutations and talk about some situations hypothetically. Now Mumbai, they play Rajasthan, is their fixture on Tuesday night, and I think they play Hyderabad as well. Now let's assume that they thump these two teams by 10 wickets with 10 overs in hand. What does it do to their run rate? Because you look at their run rate right now, it's 0.45 negative, of course. Rajasthan is 0.33. We saw Rajasthan, really annihilate CSK the other day, but it really didn't take a toll on the net run rate to speak. So is there any confidence from Mumbai Indian fans?
Well, there will be, yeah, because they've pulled rabbits out of the hat before. I mean, it's kind of been a real feature of their success in IPLs. It hasn't always been the case that Mumbai turn up, they beat everybody standing in front of them, and they go on to become champions. They've done it before. There was the famous Ricky Ponting, lost the first 5 games and end up winning it from there. So look, their fans would certainly be confident that they can beat these two teams, Rajasthan Royals. They took them down back in April. They'll also think that Sunrisers are there for the taking as well. But it's simply a case of you have to concentrate on the job in front of you at the time. There's no point worrying about ifs and buts. Win this one, then worry about the next one. Worry about the next net run rate once you've got that 2 points on the board.
Yeah, I mean, many people criticizing Mumbai in terms of their batting because Hardik Pandya, Krunal Pandya, Ishan Kishan and Surya Kumar, that middle order really hasn't contributed much. In fact, just 650s for the entire squad this season, which is the lowest in the league by far. And it almost emulates that 2008 way how they went about their season. They ended up 5th then, so who knows. Now, another problem which I can really put a finger to is Trent Boult, who's been their power play record in chief, I should say. Now, he hasn't got any wickets this time around post the resumption. Are they struggling there? Are they struggling with the batting? Like I said, what's their biggest problem?
It's collective, isn't it? If you're all eyes turning towards Quentin de Kock at the top of the order, and if all eyes are turning towards Trent Boult as a wicket taker in the power play, then you've got a problem. Mumbai Indians' success has been built around the fact that it hasn't been overseas players that they've looked for to win them the tournament. It's been the fact that, yes, they've got great overseas players, Karan Pollard, etc. But the Indian players have all come to the party and done the job. Rohit hasn't made the sort of runs that you'd expect. Yes, he's a brilliant captain. Yes, he'll probably be India's T20 captain in the very near future. But they needed runs from him. Ishan Kishan has found himself out of the team, such as his form disappeared. So, look, contributions from the Indian players are just as important, in fact, more important when it comes to winning IPLs and qualifying than anything else.
Indeed, and let's talk about Rajasthan Royals because we spoke about that win against Chennai Super Kings. It was almost like a McCullum template that they were going after, especially in that power play, 81 for 1 after 6 overs, which is their best power play ever in the history of the IPL. Do you think Kumar Sankara will again ask them to go gung-ho from the top and just take it from there?
Well, I think it's a very good way of trying to combat a team that are misfiring, isn't it? You go out there, look to attack, look to put them under pressure early, see if you can make cracks develop, in the lineup, put the opposition under pressure. Evan Lewis doesn't know any other way to play. This Yashasvi Jaiswal looks as though he gives it an enormous whack. And so, why not? I mean, people won't fancy Rajasthan Royals. They're not traditionally the glamour boys of the tournament as Mumbai Indians are. So they lose nothing by coming out and being ultra aggressive in their approach against championship winning side.
Yeah, you know what they say, fortune favors the brave. Just a quick one from me. Livingston didn't play last time, of course, been patchy form, but He's been having a great kind of run in terms of English cricket, the 100 and whatnot. Would you just take a punt on him this game? Because I know a couple of the internationals came good.
Yeah, they did. Well, I mean, what did they go for? They've gone for Glenn Phillips, who even bowled in the last game against CSK. Mustafiza has been going okay. Miller, and then who was the fourth
and
one?
Evan Lewis.
Oh, Evan Lewis, of course.
Yeah.
I guess it depends. If they might look at the conditions and think to themselves, we might be able to use a bit of Livingston's bits and pieces with the ball. And Miller didn't even get to the crease in the win over CSK, so they might think that's a potential swap. But I think if they just turned over the table toppers CSK with the team that they played before, I don't see any reason why they'll change it this time.
Okay, let's see if they're going to make any changes, because like you said, why change something when it's all broken in many ways? At least it's lasted for one match, right? We're going to ask the fans a certain question right now, the goodie bag question. We'll ask you a simple one today. Who's going to be bowling the most dot balls in this encounter between RR and MI? There are quite a few candidates. Just Bumrah comes to mind, or you can take a real left field pick from Rajasthan Royals if they get their act together. But just from the top of your head, most dot balls?
Jeez, I mean, well, you'd be hard pushed to go for anybody but Bumrah, wouldn't you? But somebody like, I don't know, Zakaria, maybe. That's as left field as it gets.
No, it is, of course, left armour as well. So let's see how Zakaria gets along. But let's see how Butcher gets along in terms of his predictions, because we spoke about one man, Evan Lewis. Now, Critalytics actually backs Evan Lewis to score the most amount of runs in this match. Funnily enough, when you have a plethora of batsmen out there, do you agree with the machine, or do you think it's completely talking out of its backside?
Well, I mean, I don't know. It's a pretty good shout, isn't it? Like I've already mentioned, Jaiswal. Jaram Dubé finished up with 60 odd in the last contest, but I think it's time to look at Mumbai, and I think it's time to look at. I know I've said that you shouldn't be relying on guys like this, but it's either Suryakumar Yadav or it's going to be Quentin de Kock for me, and because de Kock's coming in at the top of the order, I'm going to go for him.
Interesting, really, really interesting, because ultimately Mumbai relies so heavily, like you said, on Rohit Sharma and Quentin de Kock. Let's see if the South African has a day out. Bowlers, straightforward, Jasprit Bumrah. I mean, that's just getting boring from the machine, because it just has a recency bias. It always picks the top dogs to do well, but it's also given us another name. Now, that another name is Rahul Chahar. He's not had a good time with the ball in terms of bowling spin for Mumbai. They've relied on Krunal Pandya and Kieran Pollard to get their overs done. That's a weird one. Do you think you can go weirder than that?
Well, I mean, if you're going to go for recency bias, then Tuati ended up with 3 for, didn't he, in the win over CSK? But because I've got a funny feeling, I'm not entirely sure, but I've got a feeling I'm behind, so I'm going to stick with the machine on this one and hope to not fall further back, because I'm not got a very, very strong feeling one way or the other about this one.
So what is it then? Who are you going for?
Huh?
Who are you going for then?
I said I'll go with the machine. I'm going with the machine. I'm going to go with Bumrah as well.
Okay, super. You don't want to lose a point there, so it's nip and tuck. So good stuff there. Playing smart, love it. Now, I think this one you love, because ultimately Critalytics has gone for RR to win. I really hope they do. I mean, from a neutral perspective, we always like seeing Mumbai Indians lose, considering they've got 5 titles. It's almost like the Man United, even though I'm a United fan, but not a Mumbai Indian supporter. Quickly, Butch, am I to win for you, or do you agree with the machine, RR?
This is where I'm going to differ from the machine. I think you get into a tight corner like this, then that's when Mumbai sort of wake up. So that I'm going to go for them tonight.
And will it be as straightforward as it seems, or do you think there could be a real game on Tuesday night?
I think it's going to be a cracker. I really think it's going to be a belter. You know, the beauty of having a champion side having to scrap and fight for their lives is that you can't lose either way. If they win, you go, oh, well, you know, you'd expect that from them. That this is the kind of thing that they do. If they lose, everybody has the delight of seeing the Manchester United of the tournament thrown out. So it's win-win either way.
It is indeed. And that brings us nicely to the end of the show with a quiz question. I remember Butch didn't like it yesterday because he was just grumpy and he couldn't get 2 players. We asked him about the CSK DC, but that's fine. He got 1 at least. Today we're asking him a slightly tough one. Now, remember, Rajasthan and Mumbai, they played each other the last time the IPL was in the UAE. It came in the Abu Dhabi venue, that one. All I want to know, Butch, is who's the man of the match. I can give you a clue. You certainly like this lad.
I certainly like him, do I? Oh, Lord have mercy.
The Royals won that night, basically.
Right. Oh my God! Who was playing for the Royals last time they were in Dubai? This is. I mean, what sort of a question is this? I'm gonna.
Who was the man of the match the last time RR and Mumbai played in the UAE?
Chris Morris.
Close.
Does it begin with an M?
No, it begins with a B.
Oh, well, that doesn't help.
It is, of course, the man.
Of course, Josh Butler. Josh Butler.
No, not Josh Butler. Another B, I mean, in terms of first names.
Oh, what,
he can
Brian
do everything in the book. Headingley 2019.
Oh, God, Ben.
Yes, it is Ben Stokes because he creamed.
I'd completely forgotten that Ben Stokes played cricket, and it's been so long since we've seen. I hope he's getting better, and we see him soon.
Indeed, absolutely, because we saw what a man he was for Rajasthan Royals, let alone English cricket. But let alone, it's been great fun chatting with you. And let's see if your prediction of Mumbai Indians comes true. Because I'll tell you what, a lot of people in Bombay would be like, you know what? I hope this Mark Butcher is damn right. That's all you're watching for cricket.com. Thanks for watching again. Me, Avanish Hegde. We'll see you soon. Until then, keep subscribing.